Welcome to another one of my videos where today I'm going to be removing the baffle, also known as a dB or decibel killer, on a Triumph Tiger 1200 with an Arrow exhaust. Okay, so before we begin, I'm going to give the bike and the exhaust time to cool down. Once it has cooled down, we're going to start by undoing the clamp at the bottom of the exhaust. To do this, you need a 10mm socket and a ratchet. Position it down under the bike, and we're going to loosen it. Once that's done, I'm going to use a 12mm socket and undo the hanger for the exhaust muffler. Now these do have these spacers which also locate in the frame. So to get it off, all you do is you support the exhaust, remove the hanger bolt, and then gently wiggle and persuade it out from its pipe at the bottom. Just for the time being, I'm going to put these bolts back through the bike so they don't get lost. Next, I'm going to start by drilling out these small rivets which hold this carbon end piece onto the exhaust, which will then in turn allow me access to this very outer lip here. So I'm going to use a 4mm drill bit to carefully drill the heads off these rivets, and we'll go from there. Okay. The rivets are now off, or the heads are at least. Okay, so I've now dropped the drill bit size down to 3mm, and now I'm going to drill the rest of the rivets out. With them now removed, I should be able to extract this end cap. There we go. Bit of a snug fit, but it will come off. There we go, like so. So before it goes back on, I'm going to clean that up. So that now reveals the end of the exhaust. So what the plan is, we're going to take a grinder and carefully grind around this welded lip here to reveal the two layers of metal. Once you see the two layers of metal, you should be able to extract this inner decibel killer. What I'm thinking of doing is putting a small hole through the sidewall before extracting, so that when I reinsert it, I can put a screw back through here if I decide to refit it. So now I'm going to start by grinding this lip off here. I'm going to use what's called a flap disc on a grinder. Don't forget to use safety glasses as well. And I'm going to run around that, taking it back until I can see the two layers of metal. Okay, so with the weld ground back sufficiently to reveal these two little layers of metal, I'm just going to take a round file or flat file and just take the sharp edge off the outside of the exhaust before I put it back on the bike. Okay, now with the edge taken off, I'm going to put it back on the bike and we'll try and get this out. So now we can try and remove the decibel killer. There are several ways you can do this. I've seen people with crowbars down the end to manipulate it to try and get it moving and extract it. Other people bend wire coat hangers and put them down the back and try and pull them out. Some people I've even seen get parachute cord or some strong rope, put some large nuts on there, drop them down into the exhaust, and then get them to catch on the inside, and then use a bit of wood as a handle to pull them out. So I'm just going to try manipulating it and see if I can get it moving. There we go. And that is your decibel killer. Beautiful. I'm just going to remove the exhaust, give it a clean up. I'm going to use some stainless steel rivets to rivet this end cap back on. I'm going to put it back on. Once it's back on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the bike, and without touching the throttle, I'm going to leave it to warm up until the fan kicks in. And then once the fan kicks in, I think it's either 10 or 12 minutes, you leave the bike without touching the throttle or anything. And after those 12 minutes, it does this ECU kind of recalibration, so that now there's a slight difference in the exhaust gas pressure. It can leave the engine a lot more efficiently now. It can recalibrate itself to that change, and it will then run right. If you don't want to do this, that's okay. You can just ride the bike as is, and after a couple of thousand miles it would have done exactly the same. So I've got some 3.2mm stainless steel rivets. I'm going to slide the cap back on, and then I'm going to locate a couple of these in just to begin with. What we do is we leave this in the frame like it was, like so. Just take the weight, like so. Locates in the back of the frame, that on the back. Like so. So what we'll do is we'll tighten it up there. Want to do it nice and tight so it doesn't come undone. I have heard of a few of these which have rattled loose. If you wanted to take a precaution against that, you can always put a nut on the back and lock it off. And we can do that up tight. It's tight, that's tight, and that's tight. So that is all back on. Time for a road test. I'll compare the exhaust notes side by side for you. Thanks for watching.